Tej's style is purely the style that we actually taught him. We teach him how to pressure fighters, how to move in on them, how to avoid their power shots by where he places himself. Sometimes I think people think he's in there and he's pushing and he's shoving, but he's actually not. He barely touches his opponent. If they grab him, then he'll grab them to try and balance himself. The fight with Issac Hardman was controversial, and a lot of people thought that Tej had won the fight.
I think I won the fight. All the crowds, all the people in the crowd came up to me after the fight, they all said, I won the fight. So I don't know what judges were seeing.
Of course, I was shocked at the 92-98 scorecard. I really didn't see that one coming. But having said that, I think everyone thought the same thing.
I don't know what judges were seeing. I know I started slow, but in the first half, I won the second round definitely. But fourth or fifth, either one of those, I won the round. So first half was him 3-2, and the second half belonged to me. I don't think he won 8 rounds against me. I don't think that at all. And in the 7th round, I reckon I almost stopped him. In the 10th round as well, I was hurting him.
Hardman threw a lot of punches, but he didn't land many punches. Whereas Tej was very clinical with his shots and scored on most of his shots.
I thought he's gonna be fighting from a distance because he likes to sit back and throw his right hand. But the plan was, while approaching to the fight, we have to negate his right hand completely so that he can't hurt me. But in the first round I found out he doesn't hit that hard.
There's been a lot of talk about his power, but most of his power has been against smaller fighters, welterweights and sort of minions, I suppose. With Tej, he didn't hurt Tej in the slightest.
I don't think he hits hard at all. I sparred Sakya Bika, then I sparred Bilal Akwe. His power doesn't come close to any of those guys. Because he has had few knockouts, doesn't make him strong.
Issac made the claim that he beat Tej at his own game, but in actual fact, it was Tej taking that up to him. If you actually watch the fight on numerous occasions, Issac would push Tej away to try and get some distance and try and get his power off, but Tej just would be straight back in and wouldn't allow him to get his power shots off. Look, we had a plan for that. It worked perfectly. He didn't get a power shot on Tej at all. Was totally unable to use his power whatsoever. When
he couldn't hit me, so that's where he started doing all these things, pushing me, coming close to me, just basic dirty fight. But at the end, I don't blame him for that. It's a fight. These things going to happen, but who I actually blame is the ref. He let him do all these things and didn't want him at all.
Issac 100% knows that he started the whole thing. I put a photo up of Tej on my boxing site, and immediately Issac put a remark in there saying that if he was to fight Tej, he would knock the rest of his teeth down his throat. Totally uncalled for, whatever. And I reacted and I said, well, I wouldn't be worrying about his teeth, I'd be worried more about your ears. He didn't like that. I put a thing up saying that maybe he didn't have his meds, and he got pretty upset. He should have increased his meds. So he got upset about that. Then I put up a photo of a wet poodle, and I just made a statement that I love watching wet poodles because when they bark, it shows me how scared they are. Well, that sent him through the roof. He started sending me messages. He's going to fix me up and sort me out at the weigh-in and all this sort of stuff. And I don't take the kid serious. He's probably not a bad kid, you know what I mean? But he's playing a silly game. Even after the fight, he's messaging me, and then I'd message him back, and then he'd get a little piece of that and put it up, say, Gerry's saying this now, and all that sort of stuff. So I blocked him on Facebook, I blocked him on Instagram. Then he starts ringing me up on a private number. Says, I drowned Tej, I drowned Tej. And I said, well, good on you, mate. Yeah, what are you ringing me for? You won your fight, go away, enjoy yourself. I beat him. I said, yeah, of course you did, mate. Yeah, just go away, leave me alone. The fight's over. Last week, me and Tej were just going over the fight, and just while we were sitting there, he rang 5 times in the space of about 10 minutes. I don't know what it is that he loves about me, or he's so obsessed with me about. I don't know. He's enamored with me.
He kept on saying you better show up, you better show up. When did we say we're gonna cancel the fight? He never said that. I never said that. I never said anything. He tagging me on Instagram you better show up, those belts are mine. Honestly, I kept myself out of it. All I was there was to fight him. That's what I said, when I was asked to interview over there, I'm here to fight. words don't mean anything to me. Even though the crowd's with you, it's you and me at the end in the ring. So it doesn't matter whatever he was saying. I don't engage in talking at all, especially on social media was the point.
When Issac done an interview with Fox, he stated that I started on him on social media, called me an idiot on national television, basically said that I'd been saying things on social media about him and I started some big fight with him on social media and that I wasn't game enough to face him and say something to him face to face. Just prior to him doing that interview, we were up on stage and he'd weighed in and he walked past me and he turned to me and he said, "You're a f***ing idiot." And I turned and returned the compliment and I said, "Well, you're a f***ing idiot, so that makes two of us." And he walked towards me and I walked towards him and people got in between us and that was it. Quite funny because then 2 minutes later he gets on Foxtel and says that story. So I think it tells you something about where the guy's at. We definitely want a rematch. I spoke to DNL yesterday and they've said that there will be one in the future, but they want to get a couple of fights under his belt. Look, whether that happens or not, I don't know. Talk is talk. I honestly don't think that Hardman want to fight Tej again. It was a bloody hard fight for him. I don't think he realised how hard the fight game is until he fought Tej.
I would love to have a rematch with Issac Hardman. He doesn't have to come to Melbourne, just on a neutral territory, neutral ground, either Sydney or any other place. I would love to fight him.
After watching Hardman, I think in a rematch, Tej would stop him in about the 7th or the 8th.
I would say if it's a fair field, I don't think he stand a chance against me.